practice, if you want things to remain the same and familiar, then we will be functioning on a form of glory. But I need somebody in here to declare that God is calling us to shift into the latter glory. I need somebody in here to declare the latter glory. It is the latter glory that will usher in the return of God. And if we are not careful, we will be so caught up in what was that we are operating of ashes and not a fresh fire. But I hear the Spirit of the Lord said, I want the latter glory to hit Agape. I want the latter glory to hit the Bahamas. Can I get somebody for real from the bottom of your belly? Cry out the latter glory. Come on, declare I want to hear you in here. Declare the latter glory. Yeah, don't let the devil sit on your mouth. Declare the latter glory. God said that the next wave that is coming on the backs of the prophet. Lord, up in here, the next wave that is coming, it is coming on the backs of the prophets. And brothers and sisters, the preaching and the hoping that was good in the past tense, where we are able to preach and hope people are happy, and there is nothing that compels them to change. But this is the kind of prophetic power that is coming to the church now, that the prophets will be able to stand and preach exactly where the people are at, that will compel them to shift and to change. I need somebody in here to declare the former glory is when we partake, baker's man. The former glory is when we come to hear a good little word and we go home happy. But the latter glory, you may have to leave the house bloody, because the word will splatter, the word will shift, the word will cut some things. I need somebody in here to declare the glory, the glory. Oh, I want to hear you all in here declare the glory. Come on, declare the glory, the glory. I don't want to lose a track of where I am. Read verse number 12 for me, please, Pastor Roll.
And Jesus went into the temple of God, and cast out all them that sold and bought in the temple, and overthrew the tables of the money changers, and the seats of them that sold doves.
Let's read it. Let's read it but slowly so they can hear it. What does it say? And Jesus
went into the temple of God, and cast out all them that sold and bought in the temple, and overthrew the tables of the money changers, and the seats of them that sold doves.
Listen to this, people of God. Whenever glory is coming, there must be a cleansing and there must be preparation. I'm gonna get us in here on today. Whenever glory is coming, there must be a cleansing and there must be preparation in the house of God. Brothers and sisters, here is what the problem is. We want things to be the way it is at Ash, and we don't want no cleansing. But every now and then, just like your house, you got to do spring cleaning in your house, because if you don't do spring cleaning, you will run the risk of getting sinus problems, because there will be dust, as my people from Bimini would say, cake up in certain spaces of your house. But even after spring cleaning, the air feels much cleaner, and I hear the Spirit of the Lord saying that this surge of glory that is coming, I need there to be a cleansing in my house. Yeah, I know we don't like this, because we are in an era and a generation. You know why people are not changing, and people are coming to church and they are comfortable comfortable in the state that they are in, it is because we don't like a word of correction. But brothers and sisters, it's better you allow the preacher to correct you, because when God corrects you, he will bring you, Lord Almighty, his grace is sufficient. But my God, you see the prophets who are making fools out of themselves and big boo-boos. Don't you dare believe that God was not pulling them in their secret corners. But whenever you do not listen to consecrate yourself, God will have to spank you in the public. If you don't train your children in private, you will end up having to spank them in the public, because they will embarrass you. But I hear the Spirit of the Lord saying that my temple needs a cleansing. We got mafias in the house of God. The whole clique will be against one person. If you got an issue with them, it's called a demonic mafia. And God said, my glory cannot come in a church where, my God, there is a need for cleansing. And you know why God cannot rush through? Because when his presence comes, he sees too much filth on the praise team. He sees too much perversion on the ushers board. He sees too much twistedness amongst the ministerial alliance. So God said, unless the house is clean, I cannot dwell in dirt, my God. And brothers and sisters, how you are unable to sleep if your kitchen is dirty. You are unable to sleep if your house is untidy. How in the world do you want God to dwell in a place that is not clean, not perfect, but clean? And we keep messing and mixing purity and perfection from the preacher to the parking lot attendant. We will never be perfect, but there is a level of purity that we got to have, where we say, God, I know I got to struggle, but I need you to touch my heart. God, I know I got an issue, but I keep bringing this before you. But brothers and sisters, God said, my house got to get clean up. My house got to get purged. My house got to get washed up in order for my glory to come in. Oh, y'all don't like it, but hear me on today. I am hell-bent on glory coming in, Agape, and whatever it takes, God, for the glory to come in. I need somebody in here to declare glory. Come on in here, declare glory. I want somebody to declare glory, and glory has to come through cleansing of the house. Pastor Roll, I want you to read for me. Who did he cast out of the temple? Them that who did what? Sold what? Verse number 12. What does it say? And Jesus
said, and Jesus went into the temple of God and cast out all them that bought and sold in the temple.
Now I want you to stop right there. Now in times past, as preachers, we have gotten it wrong. What has happened, and even Bishop Ellis has brought even more clarity. What has happened is them that bought and sold in the temple, it was not really things or merchandise that they were purchasing, but there were persons who were coming to the temple for temple worship. And what happened was they had to change the currency to the currency of Jerusalem. So wherever they came from, they had to come in and change their currency for the temple tax. which therefore says that the church collecting money for the up movement and the upward mobility of the church is not a problem. You need to be able to collect in order for the light to be on, in order for the staff to be paid, in order for the church to help. But brothers and sisters, what was happening was they, my God, were overcharging the people that were coming to get the currency of Jerusalem. So where it should have been $15, they were charging the people $25 because they were extorting the people to get the currency. And so God said, I got to change and clean out my house of the people who are driven by money. The God of Mammon has dirtied the house of God, that we are charging people for prayers and we are charging people for appointments. It is an abomination. It is diabolical. It is demonic that we are allowing money to be the driving force of the church. And while we need money for ministry, it ought not to be our God. But I hear God say that in this next move, he said, I am tearing down the God of Mammon. Will you still take time out and deal with people if they ain't got no money? Will you still take the time out to counsel people if they ain't got nothing to give you? It is a spirit of Mammon. But I hear God say, my glory is going to come in. I am going to cleanse my house. Yeah. Could I get somebody in here to say, glory, Lord? Oh, look at y'all in here. Y'all better set yourself free in here and declare glory. Declare glory. The church is being driven by the dollar sign. But I come by here to tell you that when you get a revelation of glory, you will realize that our Father is rich in the houses and land. When you get a revelation of glory, you will understand that the money will come in for the advancement of his kingdom. Oh, I need somebody in here to open your mouth and declare, God is driving out the God of Mammon. Oh, y'all don't like it, but I'll preach up in your face because we need glory to come. Somebody say glory. He said the money changers, they gotta come out because y'all playing games with my people. Y'all are raping and robbing my people. And that spirit has driven the church in the last decade. Whereas we have become hungry to be mega, where we have become hungry to operate like the Americans, and whatever we see the Americans do, we bring in our culture. But the devil is a liar. I love my American brothers and sisters for advancement and growth and development. But brothers and sisters, there is a culture that we have in the Bahamas that we understand who God is. And hear me when I tell you that God said, I have a bulldozer in the spirit and I am driving out the God of Mammon out of my church. Come, oh people of God, with a price and with a cause. Come to the house of God. Oh, come on in here. There are folk who are afraid to come if they ain't got no offering. But if you ain't got no monetary money, come offer up the sacrifice of praise. Oh yeah, I'm not promoting the culture because the principle is the principle. You can't spend money in the mall and don't want to spend it in the house of God. But brothers and sisters, it is a spirit that drove many away. But in the name of Jesus, God said, I am casting it down. Preachers have lived the Bridgerton and celebrity life of the believers. Oh, I know y'all don't want to hear it, but all of this is what will bring glory. we have lived the life of the rich and famous. That's why as preachers, we are not trying to build disciples. We are trying to build our fan clubs, because we as a people have built up our leaders as celebrities. But if the glory of God is going to come in his church, oh, I come to run a sword. You can do what you want to tune me out, but you can't tune me out of the spirit. I need to hear somebody in here to declare glory is coming. Oh, declare it in the Bohosia. Declare it in here. Glory is coming. I want to hear you, the Bohosia. I want to hear you declare glory is coming. 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 But as glory is coming, he is driving out the God of Mammon. He did not only throw out the money changers. He threw out the people who were in the seat of them that sold doves. This is what the problem is. Brothers and sisters, hear me on today, that them that sold doves was really those that traveled in caravans. And when they travel in caravan, not Dodge Caravan, but it's a group of people traveling together, they had to bring their sacrifice to give to the temple. So you would find out that if they were traveling with the lamb or the bullock, if they had to travel from far distances, what happened was sometimes the feet of the lamb or the bullock would get sprained or it would become broken. But because we have a responsibility, God, to give him a sacrifice that is without spot or blemish, when they got to the temple, they had to purchase an animal for the sacrifice. But the purchasers, those that were selling the sacrifice, were considered to be the inspectors of the temple, which means that they had to inspect the sacrifice to ensure that the sacrifice that was being placed on the altar is a sacrifice that is clean and pure unto God. And look what God did. He threw out Deaconess Dolores, some of the inspectors. And you know why he threw them out? He said, because you are here to inspect as the leader, the pastor, the bishop, the apostle. You are to be inspecting if there is pride and perversion on the team when there is worship. You are to be inspecting, God, if the preacher that you allow him to preach behind the pulpit is a sweetheart keeper, is a lesbian, is a homosexual. You got to inspect. And what has happened is we have closed our eyes because they are the big givers. We have closed our eyes because they are connected to big people. But God said, I am raising up inspectors that will not be judges, but inspectors that will tell the people, if you're going to sing, be holy. If you're going to preach, be consecrated. Come on, Zion. He said, I am overthrowing some inspectors. You don't be thief and piece on the side and handling holy things. Where are the inspectors? That's why the church is in the mess we are in now, because we allow people to run wild in the name of grace. But while grace does not condemn, grace does not condone, and we have had inspectors that were condoning mess. You're not called to condemn, but you cannot condone it. I need somebody in here to declare he's cleaning out his house for glory. Oh, I want the Agapites in here. Lift up your voice and declare glory. Come on, come on, Agape. Lift up your voice and declare glory. glory. He is cleaning the house for Tabahasia. He is cleaning the house for glory. Come on, come on, say glory. Come on, say glory. Come on, Nanabakosia, say glory. He came in, and notice what happened. See, he did not go for the people first. He went for the leaders first, because everything rises and falls on leadership. And I hear the Spirit of the Lord says, Kellen, you have a responsibility not to be liked and loved. You have a responsibility to inspect the sacrifice. And while you are inspecting the sacrifice, make sure you are clean, because the priests that were assigned to go in the holies of holies, if they were not clean, they had to pull them out by the rope. I decree and declare, we are getting ready for glory. I wish somebody in here would lift up your hands, open your mouth, get out of your seat for 60 seconds and declare glory. I say, get up in here. Somebody walk for about 60 seconds and declare glory. Handalabakosata, handalabakosikatala, handalabakosikalabahosia, handalabakosia. Someone declare glory. He is cleaning the house. He is cleaning the yokobasia. He is washing the house for glory. Come on, lift up your hands and declare, wash us, Lord. Wash us, Lord. We will never be perfect, but wash us, Lord. Come on, Zion. Ah, God, he came in. He came in. He came in, and the first thing he did was he went at the leaders. Because wherever, I want y'all to hear me, wherever there is a spirit of compromise, there will never be glory. Eli lost an entire nation because he refused to bring his sons into alignment. That his sons were in the court of the temple, and they were in the temple, and my God, they were doing foolishness. They were doing perversion in the temple, and Eli refused to bring order. But Eli run the risk of causing Ichabod be over the nation of Israel because he compromised.